Hello everyone, welcome to my channel HD ORION. We are studying accountancy for class 12th from T.S. Grewal's textbook 2023 edition. Accounting for Partnership Firms, Chapter 1, Accounting for Partnership Firms Fundamentals. And in this video, we will study preparation of partners capital account fluctuating method. So let us see some questions from the textbook. So here is the question. Question number 24. Anita and Ankita are partners sharing profits equally. Their capitals maintained following fluctuating capital accounts method as on 1st April 2022 were Rs 5 lakh and Rs 4 lakh respectively. Partnership deed provided to allow interest on capital at the rate of 10% per annum. The firm earned a net profit of Rs 2 lakh for the year ended 31st March 2023. Pass the journal entry for interest on capital. Now we have to pass journal entry for interest on capital, keeping in mind that the capital accounts are fluctuating. So whenever the capital accounts are fluctuating, in this method we have to pass all the entries in capital account itself. It means current account will not be mentioned in solution because everything will be accommodated in capital account itself. So solution 24 for the year ending 2023 on March 31st. We have to pass journal entry for interest on capital. So interest on capital account debited to both the partners' capital account, to Anita's capital account, and to the other partner Ankita. We cannot open current account here because the capital account is maintained in fluctuating method. Fine. So whenever there is fluctuating method, all the appropriations of profit will be passed by opening capital account, not current account. Current account is needed when capital account is fixed. Now we will calculate, and the rate of interest is 10%. Anita is having capital of Rs 5 lakh. So on 5 lakh, 10% for the whole year. And the amount is 50,000. And Ankita's capital is Rs 4 lakh throughout the year, and 10% of which is 40,000. So together it is 90,000 rupees as interest on capital. Now it will be transferred to profit and loss appropriation account. So profit and loss appropriation account debited, and to interest on capital it is credited and closed. Being amount transferred. Now the remaining profit, that is distributable profit, will be transferred to partners capital account. So profit and loss appropriation account again. Appropriation account debited to both the partners, to Anita capital account and to Ankita's capital account. The firm has earned a net profit of Rs 2 lakh. Out of 2 lakh, 90,000 is paid as interest on capital. So the remaining is how much? Rs 1 lakh 10,000. How? See, 2 lakh minus 90,000. It is 1 lakh 10,000. And their profit sharing ratio is 1:1. So give first half to the first partner and the remaining half to the other partner. Being profit in profit sharing ratio to partners. This is the solution. Question number 25. Ashish and Akash are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2. Their capital accounts had credit balances of rupees 5 lakh and rupees 6 lakh respectively as on 31st March 2023 after debit of drawings during the year of rupees 1,50,000 and rupees 1 lakh respectively. Now here the profit sharing ratio is 3:2 and closing capital balances are given, and that is 5 lakh and 6 lakh rupees respectively for both the partners after subtracting drawings of rupees 1,50,000 and rupees 1 lakh. Net profit for the year ended 31st March 2023 was rupees 5 lakh, and net profit is here. Interest on capital is to be allowed at the rate of 10% per annum. Pass the journal entry for interest on capital and prepare profit and loss appropriation account. So in order to calculate interest on capital, we have to calculate opening capital balances, because in the question closing capital balances are given after deduction of drawings. So we will have to calculate opening capital balances, and on those balances we will charge interest at the rate of 10% per annum. Let us see the solution. Solution 24. For this we will calculate opening capital balances. For this we will start with closing capital balance. Of both the partners is given. It is 5 lakh for the first partner and 6 lakh rupees for the second partner. And after deduction of drawings it is. So we will add back drawings. So from the opening capital balance, drawings are deducted because it is withdrawing of money. But from the closing capital balances, it is to be added back to calculate the opening capital balances. Now drawings are rupees 1,50,000 for Ashish and rupees 1 lakh for the other partner Akash. Now that much only. We need not to subtract profit because profit has not yet been distributed to the partners. Now it is 6,50,000 for the first partner and 7 lakh rupees for the other partner. It is opening capital balance. Now on this amount we have to calculate interest on capital. So now let us calculate here itself interest on capital at the rate of 10% per annum. So now 10% of it is how much? Just eliminate the last digit here. So it is 65,000 for the first partner, and eliminate the last digit here. It is 70,000 for the second partner. So these are the amounts with which we have to pass the journal entry. For journal entry for the year ending 2023 on March 31st. So these are the two amounts, interest on capital, so it will be debited. Interest on capitals account debited to partner Ashish's capital account, and to Akash capital account. Amount we have already calculated, 65,000 and 70,000. Now when you add, you get 1,35,000. Fine. Being interest on capital to partners. Now you can't maintain here current account because capital account is fluctuating. Current account is opened when capital account is fixed. This is what we are learning in this particular section. Now we will transfer this on the same date. We will transfer this to profit and loss appropriation account. So profit and loss appropriation account is debited and to interest on capital. rupees 1,35,000. Being interest transferred. See, it is very important to write narration, and it is very important to make quick calculations, because plus, minus, multiplication, division, ratio, these are the only things which we are using, and that is very simple to calculate. So one should be very smart in making calculations. Mostly mental calculations will be very much helpful. Now we will distribute the remaining profit, that is divisible profit, on the same date, that is March 31st. Again, profit and loss account, appropriation account is debited. With what amount? See, net profit was rupees 5 lakh, and out of this 5 lakh, 1,35,000 has been already given as interest on capital. So the remaining amount is, if you subtract here, it is 3,65,000. Now this is to be paid to the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So to Ashish capital account, this will also go to capital account, not current account. To Akash capital account, and the ratio is 3:2. So when you break this in the ratio, the first partner will get 2,19,000 and the second partner will get 1,46,000. Being profit to partners in 3:2, which is their profit sharing ratio. Now we also have to prepare a ledger, profit and loss appropriation account. Let us see that. So in this, first we will mention the net profit, which is always a credit balance, and net profit is how much? 5 lakh rupees. And we have to show appropriation of this profit here. So to interest on capital, to both the partners, Ashish and Akash. It is 65,000 and 70,000. So out of 5 lakh rupees, 1,35,000 is given to them in this ratio, in capital ratio actually it is. Fine. And then the remaining profit, which is also known as distributable profit or divisible profit, it will be given to the partners in their profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2. So the balancing amount is how much? The balancing amount is rupees 3,65,000. You see, 5 lakh minus 1,35,000 is 3,65,000. So this is the divisible profit, 3,65,000. When you break it in the ratio 3:2, the first partner is getting 2,19,000 and the other partner is getting rupees 1,46,000. So this is the solution for the question. Now question number 26. Naresh and Sukesh are partners with capitals of rupees 3 lakh each as on 31st March 2023. Here also the closing capital balances are given. You see the date 31st March 2023, whereas we are preparing the accounts for the accounting year 2022-23. So this is the last date. So here it is the closing capital balance. Naresh had withdrawn rupees 50,000 against capital on 1st October 2022 and rupees 1 lakh drawings against profit. Sukesh also had drawings of rupees 1 lakh. Now, what is the thing you have to understand here is there are two types of drawings. One drawings is out of capital and the other drawings is out of profit. But here we are having only fluctuating capital account method, and both the drawings will be shown in the capital account itself. Fine. So one first drawing is of rupees 50,000, which is out of capital and on 1st of October 22, and the second drawing, which is out of profit, is of rupees 1 lakh. Of course, it will be at the last date of the accounting year. Sukesh has also made a drawings of rupees 1 lakh. It is also out of profit, not out of capital. Whenever the drawings are made out of capital, it will be straightforward mentioned in the question. Otherwise, all the rest of the drawings are out of profit. Interest on capital is to be allowed at the rate of 10% per annum. Net profit for the year was rupees 2 lakh, which is yet to be distributed. Pass the journal entries for interest on capital and distribution of profit. So let us see the solution for this question. One should make a practice that after reading the question once, you should get all the information in your head. Fine. We need not to read the question again and again. If you practice this is a wastage of time especially in your examination. So read the question properly and retain the information till you finish the solution. So this is what we have to practice, so that we need not to read the question again and again. So once, twice, if you have read the question, then retain the information and use it in your solution. So solution 26, first we will calculate opening capital balances. So we will start with closing capital balance. On 31st March 2023, the balances are given 3 lakh rupees each. Now to this we will add drawings. There are two types of drawings. First is drawings out of capital, and this is rupees 50,000 for Naresh, and this drawing was made, date is also mentioned in the question, on 1st October 22 this drawing was made. And another drawing is also there, out of profit, and generally out of profit drawings are made on the last day of every year, until otherwise mentioned in the question, and this is rupees 1 lakh each. So that much only. So we have got opening capital balances of rupees 4,50,000 and rupees 4 lakh for both the partners. Now we will have to calculate interest on capital. So let us do the working here. Interest on capitals for first partner Naresh. See, Naresh is having opening capital balance that is on 1/4/22. It is of rupees 4,50,000, and rate of interest is how much? 10% per annum. So for Naresh it is 4,50,000, 10% off. Fine. But Naresh has made a drawing on 1/10/2022 of rupees 50,000, means after 6 months he has withdrawn. So this rupees 4,50,000 is there in the business only for the first 6 months, that is from April 1 to 30th September is how much? 6 months. So we will calculate interest only for 6 months, first 6 months, and it is 22,500 rupees. For Naresh, from 1st October to 31st of March 2023, it is again 6 months, and he has withdrawn rupees 50,000 out of capital. Fine. So now his capital has reduced by 50,000. So it is 4,50,000 minus 50,000. That becomes 4 lakh. Now on this 4 lakh we will charge interest 10% for the remaining 6 months, and now it is 20,000 rupees. So this way interest on capital for Naresh is 42,500. Similarly for the other partner Sukesh. For Sukesh, opening capital balance is how much? Rupees 4 lakh. So on this 4 lakh we will charge interest at the rate of 10% per annum for the whole year, that is 40,000 rupees. So this is now what to say about drawings made out of profit. Drawings which are made out of profit are generally on the last day of the accounting year, and therefore it is to be totally ignored. Only drawings made out of capital is to be taken into consideration when we are calculating interest on capital. So now with these two figures, this and this, we will pass the journal entries. On March 31st, interest on capital. Account debited to partners capital account. Sukesh capital account. Not current account because capital account is fluctuating. So the first partner is having 42,500 as interest on capital, and the other partner is 40,000 as we have calculated. Being interest on capitals. And now we will transfer this to appropriation account. So profit and loss appropriation account, because it is a part of appropriation of profit, to interest on capital. $82,500 being transferred to profit and loss appropriation. Now the remaining profit, that is divisible profit, we will give to partners. Profit and loss appropriation account debited to Naresh capital account and to Sukesh capital account. Now what is the amount? 2 lakh was our net profit, and out of this 82,500 has been given as interest on capital. So remaining 1,17,500 will be distributed to the partners in their profit sharing ratio, which is not mentioned in the question. So it is equal, that is 1:1. So half to the first partner and the second half to the other partner. Being profit in 1:1, which is profit sharing ratio of the partners. So we will show net profit on the credit side, because profits are always credit balances. So it will be brought down here from profit and loss account to the credit of it. Fine. It is 2 lakh. And out of this 2 lakh, in the form of interest on capitals, it has been paid to both the partners, Naresh and Sukesh. It is 42,500 and rupees 40,000. And remaining profit will be given to the partners in their profit sharing ratio, which is 1:1. Equally, and this is 1,17,500. When broken in two, it is 58,750. So this is how profit and loss appropriation account is to be maintained. Let us see question number 27. On 1st April 2013, Jay and Vijay entered into partnership for supplying laboratory equipments to government schools situated in remote and backward areas. They contributed capitals of rupees 80,000 and rupees 50,000 respectively, and agreed to share the profits in the ratio of 3:2. The partnership deed provided that interest on capital shall be allowed at 9% per annum. During the year, the firm earned a profit of rupees 7,800. Showing your calculations clearly, prepare profit and loss appropriation account of Jay and Vijay for the year ended 31st March 2014. Now, looking at the question and the information given here, that is 9% and the capital balances here, this profit is not enough to give 100% interest on capital to partners. That is the most what's this that is the thing which we have to see in this question. Fine, that is the catch here. So when the profit is less and appropriation of profit in the form of interest on capital is more, so what we have to do in that case? And it is not a charge. You see, interest on capital is just mentioned 9% per annum. It is not mentioned here in the question that it is a charge. So we cannot give interest on capital more than profit earned by the firm. So let us see the solution. Solution 27 we will see. So interest on capital. Interest on capitals for partner J. J's capital is rupees 80,000 and recommended rate of interest is 9% per annum, and J should get rupees 7,200 as interest on capital, whereas the other partner Vijay is having a capital balance of rupees 50,000 and rate of interest suggested in the partnership deed is 9%, and his interest on capital has to be 4,500. So total, out of the total net profit of the firm has to allow 11,700 as interest on capital. But net profit is how much? Net profit is only rupees 7,800, which is not enough to meet the interest on capital. Interest on capital amount is more and net profit is less. In that case, we have to give, means it is mentioned in the act that you cannot surpass the net profit limit. Means interest on capital cannot be paid more than the net profit. So we have to restrict interest on capital to rupees 7,800 only. So what will we do? We will give this 7,800 to both the partners, and in such a way that it is justified and both are satisfied. You cannot say that we will give 7,200 to Jay and remaining 600 to Vijay, or you cannot say that you will give 4,500 to Vijay and the remaining to Jay. That will be injustice. Even if you divide this into two, then also it will be injustice because their capitals are different. Fine. So Jay should get according to his capital investment, so shall Vijay. And at the same time, if we distribute this 7,800 in their profit sharing ratio, in this question there is no profit sharing ratio given. Even if it is 3:2 or 5:3 or anything like that, even if we give it in profit sharing ratio, then also it is not justified. So what is the basis of this? The basis of distribution of this net profit entirely as interest on capital to partners, it should be based on their capital investments. Fine. So what should be the ratio? Capital ratio. Which ratio? Capital ratio. Or you can also say interest on capital ratio. Both will be same. Fine. Either you distribute it in capital ratio and interest on capital ratio, both will be same. What is the capital ratio here? It is 80,000 is to 50,000. So capital ratio is 8:5. So we can break this entire net profit 7,800 in the ratio 8:5. So 7,800 into 8 divided by 8 plus 5 is 13. Again 7,800 for the second partner, it will be 5 by 13. It is 4,800 for the first partner and it is 3,000 for the second partner. So 7,800, that is for Jay and Vijay. Now this way it is justified, means how much is sacrificing, the same percentage or the same degree is Vijay sacrificing. So in this way it is justified. No other way will satisfy this thing. Fine. So we have to keep it in mind. Whenever the net profit is less than the required amount of interest on capital, then the net profit is to be distributed to the partners in their capital ratio or interest on capital ratio. So in the profit and loss appropriation account, by net profit, it is 7,800, and to interest on capital, to Jay and Vijay. In their capital ratio, that is 8:5. Breaking this, as we have already calculated, 4,800 and rupees 3,000. And now nothing is left to be distributed in their profit sharing ratio, because entire net profit has been used in providing interest on capital as suggested in partnership deed. So this way the profit and loss appropriation account is to be prepared. Now I hope that you have watched the entire video without skipping it. It is very important to watch the video and get the information and get the concept well. If you have liked the video, put a like, and do like, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching this video.